What's good, Rich Minds? It's your boy Reno coming back to you with another video. And today's topic is going to be about reasons why you should let them go. Yes, sir. See, everybody don't appreciate you. Everybody don't see your value. I need y'all to understand something, y'all. See, when it comes to people in life, sometimes they don't appreciate you until other people starting to appreciate you, right? They don't appreciate you until they start seeing you get some type of level or some type of status. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes people don't really show the appreciation why they got you in their hands. It take for them to see you with somebody else. It take for you to be in a different particular bracket, a tax bracket, or making a substantial amount of cash to where they see you as valuable. But most time people don't value you while they actually got you in the flesh. While you're in the palm of their hands, they don't necessarily see that as value. They see you as too accessible. They see you as like, I got access to you. You're not really important to me. And sometimes people mean harm, right? Or sometimes people don't mean no harm. But most times, let's just be real, y'all. They do mean harm. And so what I want to tell you is you got to let these people go. Now, I know it's easier said than done. You got emotional attachments. You got paradigms. You have things that you done did with these people. Like some of them you probably grew up with, right? Some people you went to the movies with. You done ate dinner with. You done built up a relationship. And I get it. Sometimes it's not as easy to let that person go. But I came to let you know, you got to let them go or else you're going to continue to hurt yourself. You're going to continue to be detrimental to your own mental. You're going to continue to drag your own self down. Because, see, one thing about the person is, look, a tiger never changed their stripes and a leopard never switched their spots. So when a person show you who they are the first time, you better believe them. Or next time they won't miss. And so y'all already know, man, I'm going to give y'all 5 reasons of why you should let them go. All right? So here's the first reason, y'all. The first reason is they didn't want to stay anyway. Yes, sir. They didn't want to stay anyway. So I'm going to give y'all an example on this first one, right? So, all right. So one of the things I would say, number one, if a person is being feel like they're being forced to stay in a relationship, a friendship, a business, a job, they're not going to be able to fulfill or perform at the highest level. Right? Like they're not going to be able to be that top tier person or that number one person as if they was to actually like that particular job or like their relationship or like their friendship or like their business. You know what I mean? Like when people are not able to be themselves or when people are not able to actually be passionate about something, they're not going to be able to be present and show up. And so what I mean is they didn't want to stay anyway. Why would you want to hold a person captive or why would you want to hold a person hostage? Because that's how they feel if they don't want to stay. My motto is, if you don't want to be with me, I don't want to be with you. If you don't like me, I don't like you. You don't love me, I don't love you. And even if that's not true, I still live by those morals, principles, and guidelines. Why? Because when you give people the opportunity, the opportunity to feel like you need them, that's when they push the button anyway. They're going to crucify you anyway. And so that's the first thing. Like, if you don't want to go to a job, how many of y'all got a job that you absolutely hate? You absolutely hate that job. You didn't want to stay at that job anyway. So if a person fire you, you're really not going to care. The only thing you're going to really care about is, all right, how I'm going to get my bills paid. You're not going to care about, I'm losing this job. This job was the best thing that happened to me. You ain't going to care about that. Why would you? And so as you realize, when you start talking about something that you didn't even want to be present for anyway, it's not going to really affect you. Why? Because you're not emotionally affected. Second thing I want to say, this is not number 2, but this is the second thing I want to say on this particular topic. So there was a time where I had this thing. I had a date set up with this chick, right? And it was a chick who I perceived to be, you know, I looked at it as like an 8 or 8.5, I would say. I wouldn't give her no more than that. And 8.5 is obviously, she's smooth, right? Let me sip my drink on that real quick. Okay. So she's smooth, right? But I set the date. Initial high interest. Very high interest. Very high. I mean, like, check this out, y'all. I'm a nice person, but I'm not just a person who's just gullible and go for anything. I'm not that guy. I'm a strong-minded individual. And so when it came to this particular female, I said, you know what? I like her. I want to set the date. So I set the date to go to the movies. Just being the man. Very high interest. We waited the whole week because her schedule was crazy and my schedule crazy. At the time, my schedule was crazy as well. The time go by. Now it's time for the particular date. All right. Now check this out. A holiday come up. Okay? A holiday come up. I can't remember exactly the holiday, but it was a holiday that came up. And she flaked on that particular day. And so me initially, I'm gonna just be honest. If you flake on me, I ain't gonna lie. I don't go by that. I feel like if you really want to be with a person, you will do everything in your power. Or if you really want to see a person, you will do everything in your power to let them know, like, look, it wasn't that. This is what's going on. I apologize, whatever. But check this out, y'all. So once I set the date, the time came. I hit her up on that particular date. I waited 7 days. I'm not finna, blow your phone up like, hey, what's going on? Nah. We set the date. I'm gonna get to know you more on that particular date. I like the vibe we had. It was cool. All right. So the day come. The holiday came. And me being a Sigma male, I roll by myself, and sometimes I can be disconnected from the world. I'm gonna be 100% with you. Sometimes I can be disconnected from the world because when you by yourself and growing up the way I grew up not celebrating holidays. Let me explain. I don't have no problem or pressure towards anybody who celebrates holidays. My mom just raised me up because she was a Jehovah's Witness. Her parents was a Jehovah's Witness, right? And so I grew up not celebrating holidays. So sometimes I can really be disconnected from the holidays. Okay, cool. So I'm disconnected from the holidays, disconnected from what's going on. And I noticed it's the holiday. I said, oh, dang, okay. So she flaked on me. I said, you know what? It's a holiday. Maybe I gave her the benefit of the doubt. She said, look, but she didn't say I really want to see you. I won't lie. She said, I don't mind seeing you again. I don't mind seeing you, but this holiday popped up. Family is in town, yada, yada, yada. Can we do the following day? I said, you know what? I'm going to be mature about it. I said, you know what? I said, I'm open to tomorrow. Just hit me up. Because at this point, you flake. Even though it was a holiday, you hit me up. Check this out. She never did hit me up the next day. I know, right? Me. But the fact that she didn't hit me up, I ain't lose my confidence. I ain't say, man, oh, man. I just let it go. Sometimes you have to let people go. She didn't want to go out anyway. She never wanted to go out anyway. And sometimes women can be the weaker vessel. And so sometimes they don't know how to say no. Just flat out no. It got to be in a different way. It got to be in a subliminal. And so what I say is that she didn't want to go anyway. She didn't want to stay anyway. And that's the same thing with your situation. If a person didn't want to do something anyway, you're not going to have any luck on getting them to come, getting them to stay in a relationship, whatever the case is. If a person don't want to stay, if a person don't want to go, you're going to just have to let them go. It's plenty of fish in the sea. It's plenty other men out there. It's plenty other jobs they want you. It's plenty other things that will provide you an opportunity, but you got to first let go of that thing that was right behind you, holding you back. I understand you may be emotionally tied to it. I understand you may actually like this particular thing. I like the girl. I'll be honest. I said, man, she got a dope vibe. I like her. But she never wanted to initiate the date. And here's the thing. Here's the kicker. And I'll go to number 2. Here's the kicker. When I contacted her, within the text, she said, my mom and dad came in town yesterday. Hold on. Wait. So you already knew. Oh, reverse that. Come on, go back. You already knew that you wasn't going to be able to go to the date. And so it took for me to contact you because I was a man of my word, but you wasn't a woman of your word. What does that mean, y'all? She didn't want to go out in the first place. And so I took note of that and said, got you. It was game. Okay, cool. So y'all understand, if a person don't want to stay with you anyway, let them go. Number 2, y'all, they're being removed for a reason. Yes, sir. They being removed from your life for a reason. Everybody is not meant to sit at your table. Everybody is not pulling. See, a person don't mind pulling up a chair. It's free to pull up a chair to the table. But see, it costs to bring some food on that table. It costs to bring a drink on that table. It costs to bring something to the table. And see, a lot of people do not want to contribute. They don't want to bring no forks, no spoons. They don't want to bring nothing. They just want to pull up and eat for free. Y'all ever seen Poetic Justice? Right? One of my favorite artists of all time, if not my favorite, Tupac. And what he was with Janet Jackson. They went to this particular cookout. And when they went to the cookout, they were like, man, it look like it's the bomb, right? Because that's how they were talking back then. They were like, it look like it's the bomb. And so they pull up to the cookout, and the only reason they was there is because it was food there. Right? They only go to the cookout because it was food. And so that's what I'm saying. Some people only pull up to your life just because they see that it's food there. They see that you're going to provide. They see that you have something on the table. And a lot of times, people don't have nothing to bring to the table, but they love to take off your table. And the more you keep feeding people, the less you're going to have to give to the people who really need it, which is your family, your kids, and yourself. They was removed from your life for a reason. You just got to... And look, y'all, I understand that it's a hard pill to swallow sometimes. Man, this was my friend. I grew up with them. I loved them. This was my dog. This was my such and such. This was my, come on, I understand that. I done been there, done that. I get it. I understand it. But what you have to realize in life is that everybody is not meant to be in your life. Everybody is not meant to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Everybody is not meant to enjoy your success. Everybody is not meant to enjoy that new car, y'all. I never forget when I was like 17. No, when I got my first car, I was 16. I'm from Douglas, Georgia, small country town, right? And I had like 7, 8 friends. I had like 7, 8 friends, right? And so out of all those friends, maybe 1 or 2 of them was like real homies. Like real homies. You know what I mean? And I would, don't get it twisted. They wasn't using me or anything like that. But when you a solid, loyal dude, you're going to be like, nah, man, they're my dogs. They're my homies. Like, nah, they can ride with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, those are my homies. And so that's how I felt about it. I felt like they were my homies. But what you realize, you start peeping the game like, hold on, I'm the only one putting gas in. I start peeping the game like, I'm the only one putting gas in my car. I'm the only one doing this for my car. Like, ain't nobody, when something need to be fixed on it, I'm the only one fixing it. And then when people started falling off, that let me know automatically they was removed from my life for a reason. Everybody is not meant to enjoy the fruits of your labor. They wasn't meant to enjoy that car for me because that was my transportation. What was theirs? And so you got to realize it's okay to let certain people go. Everybody is not meant to have what you have. Number 3, y'all. They didn't appreciate you. I spoke about this in the beginning of the video. Everybody don't see your value. And most time, y'all see this in relationships. You see this in relationships to where you get used to a particular person or they get used to you. And when they start getting used to you or when you start getting used to them, you're not able to really see their value. And we got to stop that. It shouldn't take for a person to be a mystery. It shouldn't take for a person to be in your, like, not really be there and have to play a game with you for you to feel like they're valuable. It shouldn't be that way. It should be to a point where, look, I know you solid. I know you genuine. I respect you. I rock with you. I love you. I care about you. And I'm going to be the same way every time. It shouldn't have to be you got to play cat and mouse with a person. You got to play a game with a person. It shouldn't be that. And so when people don't appreciate you, it's not even the fact that you're not valuable. A lot of times you are valuable. It's just that they had you so long to where they can't see your value. Imagine having $1,000, right? Or let's just say $1 million. You was born into $1 million, and you never went without $1 million, and you never had to work for anything. You just was born into $1 million. Do you know that you will never ever see the value in that $1 million? You will never understand how powerful that $1 million was. You will never know that that $1 million is what a lot of people are striving for, and they'll never see it in their lifetime. And so you grow to not appreciate that $1 million. And that's the same thing with you. You worth $1 million plus, probably worth $1 billion. But the fact that you're around this particular person every single day, they don't see your value. And sometimes you just gotta let them go and start winning afar. Because the further away you get, the brighter your light shine, and the more they could stand your bright light. See, right now they can't stand it. Oh no, they can't stand it. But see, they gotta get back a little bit. Yes, sir. They got to get back a little bit. And when they start seeing you shine and start seeing how everybody else is gravitating towards you, they going to once say that I knew you. I knew him. I knew her. But when you had me in your possession, you act like you didn't even know me. It's human psychology, y'all. So next one, y'all. Number 4, they will betray you. Yes, indeed. Yes, sir. They will betray you. Stop having people around you just because you want a friend, just because you want a girlfriend, just because you want a wife, just because you want a husband, and just because you want a boyfriend. Stop bringing people around you. Stop having people around you who don't deserve to be around you. Stop bringing, because those people are going to betray you. Whether they sleep with your girl, sleep with your man, try to take your job, try to take your spot. And let me be clear, what's for you is for you. So if they was to take it, it doesn't mean that they got over on you. It just wasn't yours. But what I'm saying is, you want to leave the least amount of space for a person to betray you. You want to leave the least amount of space for a person to betray you. Look at Jesus and Judas. Just pay attention to that whole story. Just look at how it all came to fruition. Jesus knew that somebody was going to betray him. He already knew that somebody was going to do something shiesty in regards to him. He already knew, but he still kept that person around. Now, granted, if there was no Judas, there'd be no Jesus that died for our sins, right? That died for our sins. But what I'm saying is, just the story itself, he kept a snake around him, and that snake betrayed him. It was all a part of the plan. Don't get it twisted. But what I'm saying is, you want to alleviate as many knowingly snakes around you as possible. You want to alleviate as many knowingly snakes around you as possible. And so my point is, these people will betray you if you keep them around you and give them the opportunity to, right? And so the next one, y'all, last one. Number 5, y'all. You are holding on to hurt. Yes, sir. You holding on to hurt. And really all that means is you just holding on to comfortability. That's all it is. You just holding on to what you know. You holding on to what you know. You holding on to the things that you've seen. You holding on to what makes you comfortable. You holding on to what you feel secure with. That's all it is. You going back to what you know. I'll never forget, man. I had a homeboy, and I was in a relationship with a girl. And we was just chopping it up, and we was talking, and I'd be talking to him like, man, this what's going on, man, bro, I'm telling you, bro. And he was like, bro, that's all you know, bro. That's just all you know. And I was like, man, what you mean? He was like, bro, that's all you know, bro. And what he was saying was, bro, the girl that you with, that's the only girl that you know, honestly. Like, that's the only girl that you really know. You don't know no other girl. You went to high school with her. You graduated still with her. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the only girl you know. And so sometimes we stay in situations because that's all we know. But sometimes familiarity can put you in a slump. Familiarity can keep you in trouble, honestly. just because you're familiar. But if you really understand what the word says, it says that your blessing will come from a stranger. It also says in the scripture that a friend will draw closer than a brother. A friend will draw closer than a brother. So what that means is sometimes the people that you don't know are better than the people that you've been growing up knowing. The people that you've been knowing. Sometimes a stranger on the street is way better than the person you've been knowing for 10 years. Do you know you can get more out of a person who you only been knowing for a whole year than that person that you've been knowing for 10 years? You've been knowing them for 10 years. If they wanted to do it for you, they would have been did it. You know what I mean? Like, they would have been did it. And so that's the same thing. Like, sometimes, man, with the strangers that come in your life, they're more prone to help you. They want to see you succeed more than the person who you've been knowing since you was a kid. But the problem is, people don't like to see you make it out of a place they still stuck in. And so y'all got to understand that. So in my opinion, I feel like these are the reasons why you should let people go, right? Don't let nobody run over you. Don't allow people to take advantage of your weaknesses. Don't allow people to take advantage of your insecurities. Keep working on yourself. Understand the power of personal development. Just keep working on you. But don't allow a person to make you feel like you need them, because you are just as well as the prize as them. You are the prize as well. You are just as equal as them. And so don't allow a person to make them feel like you need them. They need you too. And if they can't see you, if they can't see your value, if they can't seem to appreciate what you bring to the table, then you got to let them go. And that's going to conclude the video, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all hit the links in the bio. Y'all make sure y'all tune in. I'm going to catch y'all in the next video. Y'all keep a rich mentality. Peace.